that zeal. Gotta keep that zeal. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Gotta keep that zeal. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Gotta keep that zeal. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. That's right. Gotta keep that zeal. Gotta keep that zeal. Gotta keep that zeal for real. Gotta keep that zeal. Ain't no fraud. Authority, you stay in charge. Scriptures on one accord. You can't run a boulevard. And you just a buster. Close to the army of the Lord. We the host. We everywhere from coast to coast. We on show on holy post. Gotta keep that zeal to the end. Y'all watch out. I'm out there you with hoes. You can't serve two masters, you gon' have to lose your life and let it go. From city to city, state to state, we travel, doing the work of the Lord. Loving your brother is wrong, suffering, to be it ain't hard. Spirit is in me, that's the comfort given to all of the disciples. Me and almost a hop and I am the gun race, I'm all of the rifles. Protect my nation, it ain't no thing, but they got my life for my friends. Ain't worried about the hands, and make my lot of hands on, but the truth ain't no pretend. America is a wicked empire, that's no lie. I prophesy judgment on this nation until I die. Wake up morning, noon, and night, serving a God in Israel. Keeping the seal of the Lord, my oath I must fulfill. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that seal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal.
I did the battlefield, just watch me blaze this fire. I stay fresh with my boots laced in this one wet attire. Come and ask me about my vision. I know you see it swinging, don't be hating on the break. You see these lines that we changing and explaining how the Christian church has misled our people. Above all things, was there to tell you that we equal. Man, that shit evil, my zeal live, ain't no stopping it. And all my brothers shooters like choreographers, you rock the shit to fall on you. We ain't gonna hesitate. And I'm with y'all. We talking about some heavyweights. We here to set the record straight and speak this knowledge. Cause I ain't sharp nine. That's why my sword stay polished. Abolish all this bigotry. It's such a tragedy. Just follow the Lord's laws so you become a casualty. No fallacy. These prophecies will get revealed. I'm one west and they never meet. I gotta keep that zeal.
That seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that seal. Don't stop. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal. Gotta keep that seal for real. Gotta keep that seal. That's right.
Shalom, Israel. With the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible, that the so-called Black, Latino, First Nation man, woman, and child are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know, you keep coming to class over and over again, and everything we say, we're going to prove through this book called the Bible. I am Priest and Officer 1000, Kakam Ahmad of the Nocal School, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We're located here in Richmond, California at 2213 McDonald Avenue in Richmond, California. It would behoove you, if you have any relatives in the Richmond, Oakland, Hayward, Albany, Bay Area, anywhere in the Bay Area, it would behoove you to have them come to our classes, tune in online as you are doing tonight, and start to understand what this book is all about. That this book is all about the so-called Black, Latino, and First Nation man, woman, and child embracing our heritage, embracing our Constitution called the Bible, right? Um, like I said before, we're located at 2213 McDonald Avenue. We have classes on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sabbath service on Saturday. You know, and just let me back up a little bit. You know, Tuesday we have the Brotherhood class. You know, and it's very important for so-called Black, Latino, First Nation men and women to understand brotherhood and sisterhood, right? Because this world teaches us how not to be a brother. This world teaches us how not to be sisters to our people. So the brotherhood class is so important because we say we love one another, but how do we show that we love one another, right? We haven't been taught how to love one another. And the only way you can learn how to really start learning your people, so-called Black, Latino, and First Nation people, is in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohana. Salak, excuse me. So that's Tuesday night brotherhood class, right? Then you have the Wednesday law class. And what is lacking in our community? Law. What is rampant in our community? Lawlessness. You understand? By understanding the laws of the Bible, by understanding uh, opposite of what your Christian church has taught you, that the law doesn't apply anymore, that we're under grace, that you can get to the kingdom. You know, and all you have to do is say prayers, ask God for forgiveness, go to church on Sunday, put $1 in the plate. You know, it's like $1,000 now, but my point is, they tell you these are the only steps you have to take in order to gain salvation, and to get up there in front of the pew on your knees and pray to you know, a Caucasian Christ, right? Because that's who you envision every time you kneel down to pray. You envision a Caucasian man. Well, the truth of the Bible tells us that Christ is a black man. You understand? And that's one of the things that keep a lot of brothers and sisters from coming into truth, because they can't accept the fact that Christ is a black man. You know, and I'm gonna try to watch my language tonight, because you know a lot of videos have been cut or silenced. You know, I had a video a couple of weeks ago where they just cut the sound on the video. Why? Because I said some things, I said some words that they say all the time, right? And what they're doing is they're just doing a form of a cyber bullying, right? Because we're bringing out the truth as to who God's chosen people are. We're bringing out the truth as to what this Bible says, right? But because we use certain words and they use the exact same words, they take our videos down. You know, you have to understand also is that to that exact point, you know, I don't follow a lot of social media, right? You know, I was born in the 60s, so social media is kind of foreign to me still at this point. I try to participate as best I can, but it's not my thing. You understand? But this day and age, we have to participate in it. And you know, they're talking about at some point TikTok being taken away. Right now, you hear some people talk about the reason that they're going to ban TikTok is because, you know, information flies so fast. You know, there's all these people all over the planet that can broadcast immediately about world events, local events, and they trying to stifle the sources of information from people on the ground, right? Well, my understanding is my thinking is the reason that they will eventually ban TikTok is because God's people are finally starting to wake up. Now you can go down the street and mention so-called Black, Latino, First Nation men, women, and children, and more people will understand what you're talking about than not. More people will understand that you're talking about the chosen people of the Most High and Christ. So that's the reason they're actually going to ban TikTok, because The Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge is bringing out this truth all over the planet at this point, and they don't like it. You know, you can say the word HATE, right? And that one word on your video in the algorithm will cause them to shut your video down. You could take a brother or a sister in the truth on a video, use certain words, and they will shut those videos down. You can take a Caucasian person, they say those same words, and their video flies with no problem. Hundreds of thousands of views, so on and so forth. Before I continue, just wait. If anybody have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. Shalom Yahweh Shalom Yahweh Shamar Thabah Shirab Shai to Nazam Anah Jewel. Salakia, so I appreciate you tuning in. Shalom Lord in Christ, Karal Lakam, Isupk Sacramento's in the house. Let's see here. I can't tune in to Facebook at this point, I don't think. So just bear with me for a minute, Baba Kashaw. Okay, yeah. So back to the algorithm of the internet, right? So the main reason that TikTok will be shut down is because the truth is proliferating all over the earth, and the only way that the truth is proliferating all over the earth is that the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohana, never dropping his sword, holding on to this truth to bring it out that we are the chosen people, that your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. There's a problem when we say it, right? When every nation on the planet, even though they're oppressors also, right? All the other nations on the planet understand that this particular oppressor who came over to this land, conquered it, stole it, brought more slaves over, built it up, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I pray that you're following what I'm saying, right? And I'm not saying that I'm all deep and all that stuff, right? My point is, this is very, very simple. And the oppressor's job is to keep you from accepting this truth. The title of this class tonight is, what is the source of your zeal? Do you really have any, right? And all the things that are happening in this world today, man, it is difficult sometimes for a brother, for a sister to keep that zeal for the truth. A lot of people have slaveries, a lot of people have kids they have to take care of day in and day out, right? You're burdened with trying to make a living for your family. You're burdened with all the subliminal messages that you are at the bottom, that you are powerless. And at the end of the day, you are powerless against your oppressor. And your oppressor sends every signal to you through the TVs, through the computers, the internet, right? On the radio, that you are at the bottom. When the scripture tells us otherwise, that we are the ones that are supposed to be on top. And once again, what is the source of your zeal? If anybody, in the chat, I don't know if anybody wants to chime in on what's the source of their zeal. How do how do you keep going in this truth? What is it that fuels your faith? What is it that fuels you to get up every day and fight? What is it that fuels you to get up every day and call out to your people to tell them who they are so that they can take their culture back? What fuels you to do that? What is the source? Because you're tired, man. You get up every day and you do this, right? You may be in a rut to the point where you haven't done it in a while. You may be at a point where you haven't taught a class in a year. You may be at a point where you haven't picked up the Bible in a week or 2 weeks. The question is, why? What is it going to take to get you back in this work? What is it going to take to motivate you to get up every day and fight for your family, man? Is the truth enough? Is knowing that you're God's chosen people, is knowing that, because the Christian church has, they say Christ is coming back, right? He's coming back because he loves everybody and he's going to save everybody that believes in him, that confess with their mouth and believe in their heart that he's the Son of the Most High, that they're going to be saved. But guess what? It takes more than that. What is your motivation for getting up every day and telling your people that the oppressor has taught your pastors, your preachers, how to lie to you, how to actually keep you from gaining the kingdom? Understanding that you will be on top in that kingdom. That's a hard thing to deal with every single day. You're a priest and prophet, and you have to get up every morning and deprogram everything that your people has been taught. Every day you have to get up and deprogram your people from Christianity. Every day you have to get up and deprogram your people from Egyptology. Every day you have to get up and deprogram your people from the LGBTIUIC movement. Every single day. And you're tired. What is the source of your zeal, man? That's what I want to know. Nazam Anna Jewel says, the love I have for the Most High, it keeps me sane. That is, I understand that. I agree with that. And I would say, how do you show your love for the Most High? How do you show your love for the Most High? We know that Christ said, let's go to it. Get it right here. in John 14:15. In the book of John, chapter 14, verse 15, it says, if ye love me, keep my commandments. Okay, she posted a scripture, 1 John 5:3. See here. Damn right. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. That's 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. Damn right. Give her a hand. You know, and that's just it, right? Because all of us have different techniques. All of us have different ways of coping. You understand? Yeah, the love of God is definitely a way to keep your zeal, right? And even with loving God, even with keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Knowing that his laws are not grievous, right? You can still get tired. And I appreciate, you chiming in. That's beautiful. You understand? So now, with that being said, this, let's see here. And I don't want to be disrespectful. Hold on a second. Oh, Salakia. I messed that up. Let's see here. Let's see here real quick. Just bear with me a moment. Like I said, I don't want to be disrespectful. And I'm not sure if this is a brother or a sister. Forgive me. Bam, bam. Most High Cry keeps you sane. So Nazam Ana Jewel, I'm assuming that you're a sister. Aqua, sir, thank you. Appreciate that. Because we need sisters, out here, to encourage other sisters, right? Especially if you are in the truth. You're in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, right? Now, yes, you may not be authorized to go out and teach, right? But you can have conversations with sisters. You can have conversations with your children to encourage them to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? And that's where you get the opportunity to, quote unquote, proclaim the gospel. Proclaim the gospel to your sister. Proclaim the gospel to your children that Christ is coming back for the so-called Black, Latino, and First Nation man, woman, and child, right? Because who needs saving more than us, right? You can have conversations with your sister. You can have conversations with your children to look around in their surroundings to see what's going on, right? To see that, according to the book of Deuteronomy 7:3, we're not supposed to marry other nations of people. To see how you're treated as opposed to everybody else on the planet, right? To understand that the oppressors dislike us strongly. So anyway, with that being said, and one of the reasons that I chose this topic, it wasn't that long. I had a totally different topic I was going to talk about, but shout out to Officer 5000 Karat Yahawada, better known as Ice. He posted this video on TikTok, just not too long ago, right? And the video was of a so-called of an Edomite, and it appeared that they were over in the UK or something like that, right? Well, this Edomite apparently had a child with a Judite sister, right? So, in all appearances, he was a model father for years until he wasn't, right? What did that do for me? It reinforces never trust thine enemies. That sister was probably in love with that Edomite for a few moments. She was probably brainwashed to accept him as a mate. Whereas had she been taught the truth as a child, she would have never been involved with him. Her daughter would still be alive. He wouldn't have unalived her and did some other unspeakable things to his own daughter. The Most High said, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Now check this out, algorithm. I'm saying what the Bible is saying. I'm saying reading something that's coming right out of a book. The best sold book on the planet. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated is what the Most High said. Right? So what do? We hate what the Most High hates. The Most High hates us being involved with them. So if hate is the source of your zeal for getting up every day and fighting for your people, so be it. If love is the reason for you getting up every day and fighting for your people, so be it. What is the source of your zeal, man? Once again, if you're in the sound of our voice, with the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, we're the NorCal, Northern California School, located in Richmond, California at 2213 McDonald Avenue, right? And, this video has a couple of views already. Who knows how many views it'll have before the night is over, before tomorrow morning, so on and so forth. It's not going to be real heavy tonight, right? But the point that I want to make tonight is the priests and prophets of the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge are throughout the airwaves, telling you about the truth of the Bible, right? And the truth doesn't always look the way that you expect it to look when you find it. You won't accept the truth because a brother is on camera with sunglasses on. You won't accept the truth because a brother is on camera with gold teeth. You won't accept the truth from a brother whose hair is locked up in braids, just like Samson's hair was locked up in braids. right? You'd rather listen to somebody with dreadlocks. You'd rather listen to somebody that's smoking weed, right? Because those things appeal to your flesh, man. You don't want to listen to the truth because the brother used strong language. You don't want to hear about the truth because a brother drinks strong drink. You'd rather listen to somebody that has on a three-piece suit, a tie, or a white collar, but all along he's telling you lies about the Bible. What are those lies about the Bible they tell you about? Jesus loves everybody. What are those lies about the Bible? You can commit any sin you want, just have to ask for forgiveness. You can do anything that you want because we're under grace. You can love anybody you want to love because what? Love is beautiful. The heart wants what the heart wants. These are all lies being told to God's chosen people. These are all lies being told to the so-called Black, Latino, and First Nation man, woman, and child. You know, if you want half of a chance, if you want a chance, right, you need to get into these classes in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana. Right? I have some scriptures ready, right? I do. But you know, for some reason today, man, it's just about we've been reading scriptures to you till we've been blue in the face, man. And I'm not saying, you know, that this is done away with. My point is this, right, is that I'm here to appeal to the so-called Black, Latino, and First Nation man, woman, and child, particularly in Oakland, California, particularly in Berkeley, California, particularly in Richmond, California, where you actually have a physical school of the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. You know, you've heard us on the street corners, you hear us online, and why won't you come? Why won't you come? Why won't you get into class? Why don't the brother get in all black? Why don't the sister get in here and cover up her head and shed yourself for the world? It's time for you to recognize the hold that the world has on you, bruh. It's time for you to recognize the hold that the world has on you, sis. You've heard us reading the words out of the Bible. You have heard the words coming out of our mouths, the truth of what the Bible actually says. And what do you say? I'm not going to follow no man, right? You know, I hear brothers say that all the time. I'm not going to follow no man. So you expect your children not to follow you? You don't know how foolish you sound when you say that, man. And I'm saying this in love, man. You don't understand how foolish you sound when you say that. You're afraid to follow a man that held down the truth. The children of Israel have always followed a man. They followed Moses. They followed Joshua. You understand? They say they follow Christ. You say you follow Christ. You say you follow the Lord. The Lord is a man of war. and you don't want to follow a man because you want to smoke weed. You don't want to follow a man because you don't want to cut those stinking dreads out of your head. And I'm saying this in love, man, once again. Sis, you don't want to follow a man because you want to try out more peni until you find the right man. You understand you can't do that when you come into the truth. You understand that you have to put on that dress. You have to cover your head. You have to close your legs. You have to shed yourself of the world. You have to learn how to be a woman all over again. You have to be baptized by the words in this book. You have to be cleaned by the words in this book. Brothers, you have to go through the fire. You have to be purified. How else are you going to learn how to live? And in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, that's what you will learn how to do. You will learn how to escape the wiles of the devil. You will learn how to escape the wiles of your oppressor. You know, and a couple of people dropped off, but that's all right. That's all right, right? Because maybe they'll tune back in. Maybe they'll go over to the side and hit that joint one more time. And maybe they'll have a good night's sleep and wake up and say, damn, that brother had a point. That was my last joint. I'm cutting these dreads out of my head today, right now. I'm going to look at the screen and look for a class that's in my area. I'm going to tune back in tomorrow during the scripture breakdown class Thursday, taught by Officer Kassar Pakad here at 2213 McDonald Avenue, and I'm going to take notes. Nazam Anah said, Khan, don't want to give up that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Damn right. You know, and that's amazing, you know, and, you know, we hear that over and over again, right? And the amazing thing about it, sis, is it's so real. You know, the hold that the world has on our flesh, man. How powerful shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster is. And how the Christian church, your preacher, your oppressor has taught your preacher, your pastor, how to twist the scriptures to believe that you can eat all of those abominable things. All you have to do is pray over it. What did it say? Pray over it in prayer and supplication, and it's clean. You can eat it. You know, and the thing about the truth is, it's 12,000 men from every tribe that needs to be sealed according to the book of Revelation in order for Christ to come back. You know, so you would think that in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge that all the emphasis is put on men. No, just as much emphasis is put on women also. How important women are to this truth. Why? Because women have sons. Women have brothers. Women have cousins. Women have fathers. Sis, you could be the one to start the revolution in your family just by you changing your life. So, like I said, I'm not going to be here long. I'm getting ready to close this out. But, Salakia, to the men above me, I pray that I was not out of line. I will continue this next week. But before I tune out, I just want to give other people another chance, just in case they wanted to tune in with any or chime in with any more questions or comments. Nizam Anad says that Khan is happening. Damn right it is. And it's happening, like you say, just as we speak, right? And yes, I'm here. I'm pleading with the children of Israel to get into this school. Once again, particularly in the Oakland Bay area, particularly in the Hayward area, particularly in the Richmond area. And understand this, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge is a safe place for Black, Latino, and First Nation men, women, and children, right? Once again, it may not look like what you expect it to look like once you found the truth. I'm going to be real honest with you. Brothers, when you come into the door, we're going to pat you down and make sure you don't have anything that's going to harm us. Sis, when you come through the door, we're going to look into your purse to make sure you don't have anything that's going to harm us. Right? You're going to enter into a safe sanctuary. You're going to enter into a place where your enemy is not going to come in here and destroy you. Your enemy is not going to come into this place as they do those other so-called churches and unalive as members. A place where you can eat clean food, a place where you can have clean fun, a place where you can have as much fun as you had out in the world, but not sinful, right? A place where you learn how not to envy thy oppressor and take on none of his ways. A way to learn how to not celebrate your birthday. Learn how not to cling unto the world and all its filthiness. A way to let go of all those events on the oppressor's calendar, right? A way to understand that all of the holy days in Leviticus 23 are the holy days that we're supposed to be keeping as a nation, right? A way to understand that you can have fun with your people, gather together, as it says in Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, right? And once again, who's not desired more than so-called Black, Latino, and First Nation men, women, and children? True brotherhood. Brotherhood is a weapon, damn right. Right? And, we have got to get past this lack of brotherhood. You understand? It's amazing how Christ died to bring the two kingdoms back together, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. That is the gospel. That God sent Christ to reunite Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men, women, and children. That's what he came for. That is the gospel, man. And it sounds so simple, but you've never heard it. It sounds so simple that you don't believe it. We dislike each other so much, man. Blacks dislike Latinos so much. Latinos dislike Blacks so much. First Nation people dislike us so much, man. And it's amazing the job that the oppressor has perpetuated from centuries ago. You find it hard to believe, right? I'm talking to my Latino brothers for a second. because I see a lot of y'all and brothers, out with the crosses, the so-called Jesus pieces, so on and so forth, right? But you hate your brother. You say you love the Most High, but how can you say you love the Most High and hate your brother who you see every day? You haven't seen the Most High. The Most High says you are a liar, man. You're a liar. How many times you as a brother, as a so-called Judite, right? So-called Negro, how many times have you heard your father, your uncle, your cousins say, them damn Mexicans? How many times as a Latino have you heard your uncle, your father, your cousins say, them damn niggas, man? How many times? When them damn niggas, them damn Mexicans are the ones you're supposed to be loving, man. Those are the ones, Salakia, that you're supposed to be loving day in and day out, man. But the oppressor has found a way to continuously fuel that anger for each other, fuel that hate for each other. So, you're in this class tonight. You're aware of the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. I strongly encourage you to do a search of ISUPK on all platforms. I encourage you to look through all these platforms. I encourage you to write down the names of brothers, write down the names of locations where these classes are being taught, get a notebook, and go to work. And find a way to prove that we're wrong. That's my challenge to you. Find a way, find a point, any point that we're wrong about. Once again, search ISUPK on all platforms. Write down these locations of these schools. Write down the name of the officers and the captains and the generals who are teaching these classes. Let me tell you what you're going to hear on all these platforms. Want me to tell you what you're going to hear throughout all of these classes is that the so-called Black, Latino, First Nation men, women, and children are supposed to love each other. And look around and understand the so-called conspiracy against the Black man. The conspiracy against the Black man is against Black, Latino, First Nation men, women, and children. It's not just against the so-called Black man. The conspiracy is real. The conspiracy is against all of us. Once again, I will direct you to the Psalms 83. Read that, and you'll have a better understanding of how we're supposed to be together, how every nation is against us, right? How every nation is in league with each other to cause us not to know who we are. I mean, it says that the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance. And it's not talking about those, I don't know if I could, those people who are over in the Middle East now fighting over that strip of land. That's not Israel. We are Israel, the so-called Black, Latino, First Nation man, woman, and child. We are Israel. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. So with that, once again, I just want to say, encourage brothers, encourage sisters, about being discouraged. I understand we all get discouraged sometimes, but to continue to pick up your sword, continue to pick it up and keep swinging. You look online, you see a lot of brothers who are teaching classes who have slaveries all day long, and then they drive 2 hours in traffic to teach a class. To teach a class, man. That's how much they love their people. You have sisters who will be at a slave all day long. She might be at home taking care of the kids all day long. But you know what she will do? She will cook lasagna and drive an hour and a half to class to feed brothers. Yeah, you can say people do that in the Christian church, but they're doing it for a lie. They're doing it for an untruth, man. We're doing this for the truth. We're doing this because Christ died for the nation of Israel. So with that, once again, I'm Preaching Officer 1000 Kakam Ahmad of the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohana. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bashem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. Dwada says, I appreciate your participation. Shalom, Lord Christ.